Well, hiya, mate. I guess I'll say mate since I think I'm, well, I guess not Australia. I don't know if they drive on the left side, but all these live videos seem to flip the video around, so it looks like we're English driving on the left side. But I'm headed back to work again. We've got to run one more run for this week. Got to head back up to Charlotte. From Savannah to Charlotte. Headed out from Hilton Head here, and trying to make the best of this week. This week has been all over the place. Drivers really giving me a fit, from new drivers to drivers that use the little rumple strip there. I hope the signal's good on the signal. We're going over the big bridge right now at Hilton Head. This is really pretty out here right now. You can see out into the horizon and everything on both sides, and see the intercoastal waterway, I guess it is, as we're going across here. That connects. Well, it makes it an island. You can take this all the way out to the ocean, and it's pretty neat. Pretty neat if you ever come down to Hilton Head, seeing those sides and just seeing all the palmetto trees and just everything they've got down here. I really like it. Hey, Doug. Well, Doug, I'm headed to work. As I was saying, I've got to substitute for one of my drivers that up and quit inadvertently here in the Savannah area. He decided he wanted to be a truck driver of his own and went out and bought his own truck and up and abruptly quit. But that happens. You can't tell somebody what they can and can't do. I mean, I got to drive tonight. Yep, I got to drive tonight. Drove last night. Got to drive again tonight. Headed up to Charlotte. At least it's my home base I'm driving to, but I know the area well, and it's back to my home terminal. Charlotte is my home terminal for FedEx, where I have the majority of my trucks. We've recently sold off our Greensboro. Well, it's in the process of being sold off. We sold off one run. We're selling off headed to Charlotte, North Carolina. We're trying to sort of revamp and restructure our operation a little bit. We're wanting to add more trucks down here in the Savannah area, and by doing that, by selling off some of those Greensboro routes, that's going to free up. Sometimes you get a good one day in an area, and then the next day it's flaky. But yeah, drivers are fickle. They'll quit you in a moment's notice nowadays. I've found out more so in the last few years than any time, I think, because of the fact that there's such a high demand for drivers that they will just quit just like that. And it puts me in a predicament because I've got all these routes to cover. I can only cover one for me. I have some spare drivers, thank goodness, but sometimes your spare drivers don't even come through. I've had a couple spare drivers that this weekend I got one of my spare drivers. He's not going to be able to help, and I've got one of my regular spare drivers. He's gotten sick on me. It's when you got things planned, like you said, and I had planned to come to Savannah anyway this week. We had a meeting down here for our new contract, and I was wanting to meet with the terminal managers and the line haul managers here in the Savannah area. And we did that, and we were on our way down, and then I come to find out that gentleman just up and quit He gave no notice. He worked Monday night, didn't show up Tuesday, Wednesday night. I had to start taking over. And that's the kind of crap you get sometimes. You got people that are, like I said, quit in a moment's notice. You won't know that they're disgruntled. I mean, had the gentleman been disgruntled, or had he had a beef with me in any way, been fine. Let me know. Give me a little time to prepare myself, fine. It's just ones that don't give you the time of day to prepare yourself when you're running a business that really irritate you the worst. It just jerks the rug out from underneath you, and you have to immediately change directions. I don't have the luxury of being able to yeah they want to be there to satisfy their little urge, and boom, they're gone. I mean, had I known, when you hear some of the stories from these guys, oh yeah, I'm gonna be here, this is great, I love the job. I always tell my wife, I've had a few of these guys that I've hired on over the years, and they say, oh man, this is the greatest job, I love it, I want to retire here. I usually tell my wife, mark that one up as gonna be gone soon. Because it never fails, almost invariably. The guy that says he's gonna stay there forever, he's gonna be the first one out, or early out. I think some people use that as an excuse to get you comfortable with them, to making you think that, oh yeah, he's stable as he can be, when in reality they are probably the least stable. And so it's a catchphrase that I kind of cringe every time I hear it. Yeah, it's like, who they trying to convince? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got a job. I'm giving you a job. You don't have to come up with a scenario that I'm going to do something. I don't know. It's crazy. Let me refresh here. Yeah, I pay good money. I mean, we start our guys out at $50,000 a year. I mean, that's a bare minimum, $50,000 a year. And I've got some guys that make $75,000 a year, and I think that's a pretty good wage. I mean, you would think it is. And then we have 401k plans, we have insurance, we have, we're fully documented. We, the workman's comp, everything else that comes with normal jobs, and we do direct deposit. We do a lot of things that you would think that people would like. Yeah, the workforce is the American workforce nowadays is that way, JC. It's like, I want to sit on my couch and twiddle my thumbs and watch video games and make lots of money. I mean, we have ruined the average worker by giving them the idea that they can make money like this, doing videos or something. Some people think they can make a real living. You might make a hobby. You might make some extra cash. You might make some extra money. Because I'm nowhere near large enough to even make anything. Yeah. There's making video of an actual accomplishment of doing something. I mean, that's like me. I'm making a video tonight of me going to work because I've got real work to do. And the difference between that and somebody like you, JC, that you actually work on a project. Your secondary income, I guess, or supplemental income of something with a video. And most people are not going to be able to live off these videos. I guess if you got in the millions and in some of these things, you could do it, or hundreds of thousands. You come to come up with some stuff, and if you had sponsorship and a few things like that. But the average Joe, I don't think could live off of YouTube videos. I mean, I hear some guys making a couple thousand a month. Well, I sure can't live off a couple thousand a month. I mean, I've got, I might live off a couple 100,000 a month. I've got bills out the yin yang trying to pay for things. My wife even questioned me when I sold these 5 runs the other day. She said, "Oh my goodness, we're not going to get the revenue from that." I said, "Babe, look at my bank account. We got a good bit of money that was actually given to us." So we sold the runs. We're doing some owner finance. We're not to get into it too deep and everything, because I don't want to divulge for the other guys. I mean, since I did sell these, but we did well. We did well with it. It was a time to take that part of my business and divest it into something else. I've got my new Napa store that we've got. I've got the runs that are going to be available in the Savannah area that I need to take advantage of, and we're just doing a flip-flop. We're taking, I mean, we like the Savannah area. We like the growth potential down here. So I'm taking what I feel like is a stagnant area in the Greensboro area. I mean, they still have runs available, but it's not the runs that I desire. I more or less had the ones that most of them desire. I had a lot of the good southern runs out of Greensboro, the ones going in toward Atlanta, and the ones going toward Knoxville, and the ones going towards Savannah, and everything I had down near the Hilton Head. But for us to grow in the right way and be a little bit diversified a little bit, I felt like it was a good time to sell that, get completely out of Greensboro, which is really a little bit of a painful way, and then take it to Savannah. And the ports are going wild down here. They're blowing up the amount of freight that's coming out of these ports. So I feel like the opportunity to grow is way bigger. I hope it's way bigger than Aloysius. But you know, that I think that you want to do is go where the largest potential growth, and really the competition within contractors too. There's fewer contractors than I would have to compete with for bid runs down here. So my opportunity to get good bid runs is way better than it would be in Greensboro. In Greensboro, we've got probably 50 contractors. In Savannah, we only have about 10. So, you know, it's one of those situations, do the math. And when I do the math, it makes way more sense for me to put my resources in Savannah. Now, that being said, Savannah is further away from me than Greensboro. But Greensboro was sort of out on its own fringe. It was a little bit out of the way for me. Savannah, I have a lot of vehicles coming into this area every single day. I already had, out of Charlotte, I already had 4 runs that came this direction. So, you know, 4 coming there, and then more runs going from here back up towards Charlotte. So it makes sense for Greensboro. So that's sort of my business plan. I hope I haven't bored anybody with that, but that's what we felt like was good, and just take our resources and reinvest it down here, and not have to. Also, I'm not having to buy any trucks for any expansion down here, because I'm taking the 5. When I sold these routes, I sold them less the equipment, so I sold them just the routes. So those guys have to buy their own trucks to put on those routes. So I'm able to take 5 approved trucks, and all I have to do is renumber them and put them down here as Savannah trucks. How did your route go last night? Well, pretty good. I had to take back I had one of my lease trucks that actually I used for Amazon. I was leasing it on to my FedEx because we're blowing up. We're so busy. I've used a lot of my Amazon trucks on FedEx. I had to get it back. It was not running good. It had I don't know if it had some sort of speed sensor and a V-pod that was giving me a fit, and it would go 75 miles an hour downhill and 35 miles an hour uphill. So I had there's way less of that 75 too. I was doing good to get up to 65 and 70. It was mainly just a struggle, but we made it. Just one of those things you have to deal with sometimes when you got equipment. And I didn't want to have to tow it back, so I wanted to be able to get it back. So, and I can't ask some of my drivers to drive it like that, because I mean it's still safe. There wasn't anything unsafe about the truck. It was just power-wise, it was deficient. And by being able to do it myself, I could take the abuse that I would get from drivers. If I put a driver in there, they'd go, "Oh man, this thing's running terrible. I can't do this. I can't do that. Blah blah blah." They would hit me up in a heartbeat, said, "I'm not going to drive it. Call somebody and get it." When the truck could be moved and it was good. It was, like I said, nothing unsafe about it. It was a power range type thing that when you're used to one that pulls good, and I hear guys all the time, and if you get a fuel filter a little bit stopped up, at least a little bit down on power, especially when some of these hill runs, they go, "Oh man, something's wrong with the truck," and all it is a fuel filter. So you have to deal with that on a regular basis, and that's what you do. That's what you do. But all in all, it went fair. I was a little bit tired. I'm still a little bit tired. Didn't get a lot of rest today. I had a lot of phone calls. I even had to help out a Savannah contractor when he got to Charlotte. He had an issue with one of his trucks, so my mechanic went over and helped him so his guy could get back safe and sound. But that's what you do. You're trying to be friendly with some of these other contractors, and you try to help them out too. And hey, Bobby DeVos, I didn't get to say much to you. Y'all see you getting out, but glad everybody can jump in here a little bit and just chit chat a little bit. All I've got to chat about is my old FedEx run tonight. I hadn't got much done on anything else this week but my FedEx work. But that's part of life. That's part of life. It pays the bills, so you got to do it. And it's Matt. Hey, Matt. Yeah, Matt will know what I was talking about the power and everything. Yeah, I had to bring a truck back, a 60 series Detroit back, put a V-pod and a speed sensor on, I believe is what it was, one of the sensors. So yeah, it was a struggle getting it back. Like I was telling me, run real fast down the hill, and boy, it was all she could do. I think Jason, my guy that does all that, he tells me that when it's like that, the vanes on the turbo won't open up proper, and it's basically almost like no turbo. It's a boost sensor. That's one of the things he changed out too, is a boost sensor. We changed out a boost sensor, a V-pod, and maybe a speed sensor. I think it's mainly a boost sensor and a V-pod, and now the truck seems to be running just fine. But it was a struggle getting it even the slightest hill. Is like having a drag car and then throwing out the parachute sometimes, because it would pull you back when Yeah, that's right. It was a dragonfly truck, that's for sure. It was dragging ass at times, and fortunately, I only had one trailer. I'd have a set of pups. I got down here, and they said, "Oh, you're going to run the hot load in," and I mean, it kind of scared me in some ways because I'm going, man, if I don't get the hot load in there on time, they're going to be aggravated with me. I said, but the cool thing is, it's only a single, and it wasn't two trailers. So if I'd had two trailers last night, I would have been dragging it because it would have been really, really bad. But, that being said, we made it. A little bit aggravating, and, the trucks won't run, Hey, Brian, glad to see you in here. But, yeah, it's what you have to deal with, and like I said, it's what you have to deal with when you're an owner operator too. You have to take the good and the bad, and of course it was good that I got it back. I didn't even notice the wheel seal, but when I got it back, Larry, my head mechanic, he said, "Yeah, we got a wheel seal leaking too." So we replaced a wheel seal and then that boost sensor and the V pod, and hopefully it'll be. Oh my gosh. 95's at a crawl down here. Let me just go on down here to 17. I don't know what's going on. I started to get on I-95 here, and it's to a screeching halt. So I'm gonna go down here and jump on 17 and see if I can circumvent that. That's what you get when you work on the interstates, drive on the interstates. You're at the mercy of the interstates. But around here, yeah. 95 is a good piece away from Cherryville. That's for sure. But I'm down here. If anybody's familiar with 95 down here at the southern part of South Carolina and start of Georgia, that's exactly where I'm at. I was getting ready to jump off exit 8 right here at Hilton Head, and I went to turn left, and I looked down, and I said, oh my God, it's a complete halt. Both lanes were stopped. So I'm going to try to go past it a little bit, go another 2 or 3 miles down the road. Maybe I can get around something, I don't know. Yep. JC is one busy guy. I've seen a couple of his videos. I didn't get to see them all. I've been so busy myself. But yeah, JC is one busy son of a gun. If America worked as hard as JC, I think we would be very productive. And Matt, I see Matt out and about too, working. He's been down helping Clay and a bunch of other people, and with his regular job. So I know that Matthew's working hard too, and and then I see Chris Richards out there scaring the crap out of me on his adventures. Yeah, I tell you, I enjoy the kind of group of guys that we chat with and watch each other's videos, and it's been very entertaining for me over the past several months as I kind of joined a community of tool guys and project guys. I'd say I think a lot of it's what I like to see is all the different projects everybody has. I mean, everybody's got their own thing that they're doing, and it's really entertaining there. And that's what's I think so neat. Is when you see somebody that's taken maybe something from nothing and then really makes it into productive for them, and it's pretty cool when you can do that. I'm trying to, I guess in my way, I'm trying to build our business and our store, and been away from it this week. Hadn't been able to do much at the Napa store. We're going to build a lean-to tool shed, I guess you might say. We're going to be putting some tooling equipment in on one side, and I'm going to build a lean-to 10 by 56 shed if I can. And we're gonna see what we can do. I hope I can get on 95 down here in this little bit better shape. It was completely stopped almost up there. I'm coming up to 95 this way. I'm 3 miles further down the road. I don't know if it's going to be better or not. I hope it was, the trouble was in between 8 and 5 and not. I see a truck getting on down here headed that way. We'll see. At least I'll be 3 miles further down in the backup if anything. So maybe I can see a little movement, I think. See northbound movement. I don't know if I see any southbound movement or not. Well, here's the chance. I have to take it. Down here at Hardyville. If everybody knows where Hardy. Oh yeah, cool. All right, it's moving. So I guess it was in between exit 5 and 8. I did good. All right. I did good. The backup is behind me there. Clear sailing. Woohoo! Well, I dodged a big bad bullet there. Yeah. It looks like some of the crowd is coming up behind me there. But I don't know what the backup was. I guess earlier this morning I saw somebody was pulling a utility trailer, like a work van, and they had lost it and flipped and went out off the right side of the road here on 95, about 10 miles further back up where I am right now, and really made a mess of things with their van and their it just tore that cargo trailer all. That's basically what was a cargo trailer. It tore that all to pieces. Yep, I think JC's got to enjoy his work, because JC does a lot of work, and if you don't enjoy it, you can't do that much work. I really, it would be a drudgery to a lot of people. And JC, I commend you, because I think you've got skills that are well learned on your part, and you have self-taught, but I guess a lot of it trial and error and everything else. Oh, you sold the red F-150. Wow. Now that's the one you took the interior and switched all that sort of stuff, didn't it? Yeah, that's pretty neat. Yep. JC's not only a worker, he evidently is a good salesman too. I think they practice in selling Eskimo pies to Eskimos, or snowballs to Eskimos, as they used to say. You got to be both. You got to have your creative juices in the right places, so you can. Hey, Chris, I was just talking about you. I was telling people how you generally scare the crap out of me on your videos, but not too much lately. I get tickled when I see Chris pulling stuff out and about, and I'm going, oh, I hope that chain doesn't break, or oh, I hope that rope doesn't break. Things entertaining. Hey, Walter, glad to see you in here too. Yeah, I'm headed down 95, getting ready to go over the Savannah River Bridge right now. I'm gonna be in Georgia in just about 30 seconds. So I'm down here headed by leaving South Carolina sign right now. Thank you for visiting South Carolina, okay? And then I'll go across the Savannah River Bridge here, see if there's any big boats going across. I don't think any of the big boats go this far up. They've widened the port and enlarged the port down here. I mean, that's why this region is really, I mean, all these people that have protested and boycotted the crap in California has just forced all these shippers to come east. And Charleston's port, Newport News, Virginia, and Savannah, all these ports up and down the East Coast are just booming, from what I gather. And the West Coast, they're sitting out there trying to over-regulate everything. I mean, the West Coast, you got to have all kind of certain trucks getting out of the ports. It's all right. Got a bonus, did you, Matt? I saw that. Yeah, I think a good tech, if most of them will give you a good good bonus. If that's like me. I pay my mechanics well too. I've got some good guys. I've actually started a new guy this week. He didn't have that much diesel experience, but he was a good mechanic, and one of my older guys told him, so well, don't worry about it. Same thing, just bigger. So that's what he's doing, man. And he seems to be working out really good. He seems to be working out just fine, I think. He's a mature guy. I think he's in his late 40s, early 50s, and got some stability on him. 101% productivity last month. 202 hours for them. Wow, you did good. Okay, I've got a driver calling in. I might answer these guys. They may kick me off. All right. I don't know if did I lose everybody or did I stay online? I couldn't tell. Looks like I lost everybody. All right. Yeah, lost everybody.